I feel that Microsoft they're making strides to becoming the company that a lot of people should rely on for software productivity and collaboration. And the reason for this is because we do need a standard out there that everybody use so that there's no confusion when you're going from one platform to another. One enterprise, is using one platform and another enterprise using a different platform, like Easy Home versus Geico. If they want to talk to each other, if they are using the exact same software, then there'll be no confusion between who's using what and what's using who, because they can send the information over, they can collaborate, they could come up with a lot of ideas, and there's no file association issues that you have to worry about. Everything's compatible with each other, and so Microsoft Office 365, I believe, is one of the best things for businesses out there today. And I've done several videos in the past where I discussed Microsoft Office 365 along with Windows Phone 7. I'd even threw in a little bit of Microsoft Tag, into that video. Um, a company that wants to, um, whether it's a one man show or a one person show, to a company that has like over 150,000 employees or more. At Apollo Group, they're the owners of University of Phoenix. They have over 100,000 employees. So it doesn't matter how big your company is or how small your company is, even if it's just one person. Microsoft Office 365 is one of the best collaboration softwares out there because you can have a SharePoint site and invite outside users that are outside of your organization to have access to certain documents that you can share with the world. Microsoft Office 365 includes Office Professional 2010, which means that you are able to have Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, InfoPath, Outlook, which works with Microsoft Exchange. Also, with Microsoft Office 365, you have Exchange. So you got all your email, your calendars, your notes, your to-do list, your contact list, and the global address book. And then you have SharePoint, which is almost like a where everybody can have their own My Site. It's like having a MySpace page or a Facebook page. This is an area where you are, let's say, a president of HR department, and you can have your own site where you talk about yourself. You got a bio. Even a person who is in a call center and they are answering the phones. Well, if that person went into their My Site and added in saying that they know HTML, web design, video editing, stuff like that, that vice president of HR may say, I need somebody who knows a little HTML. And they find your profile. They can see the hierarchy of where you're at in the company, contact your manager, and they'll be able to set up where you can go to the HR department and work on that project with the HR department because they know you have the skill set to do HTML and website designing. So these are the wonderful things that SharePoint has. It's like having a Facebook page, but it's not just that. It is a collaboration website. Every single team in every single department can have their own site. So you have HR, but then there are different aspects of HR. You got benefits. So the benefits page can explain the benefits. So you go to like, let's say, I'm going to use Geico as an example. Uh, intranet.geico.com slash HR slash benefits. And on that page, your employees can go to that page and see what type of benefits that are offered by the company. And they can pick and choose which benefits package works for them. There are a lot of third-party applications out there that can work with SharePoint. Some are free, some you got to pay for. and that will allow you to get into other aspects of SharePoint. So there are a lot of features that SharePoint has that works with Exchange, that works with Microsoft Link. Keep in mind that if you're used to working with Office Communicator online or on-premise, then you will know Link. It's the same thing, but it also includes a lot of the features in live meeting. At this time, you can have up to 250 people in a live meeting chat. You can share a desktop, share just a program, or you can even do PowerPoint presentations. You can set up a whiteboard. You can do audio, video, chatting. And what's great is that Microsoft Link will cut to the person who's talking the most. And so, for instance, like I'm talking now, and I'm talking in a meeting, and I stop talking, and then Jeff on the other line will start talking, and he will pop up on the screen. And so that's one of the great things about SharePoint and Link is that it works together. If it shows online in Link, Exchange and SharePoint will show you online as long as you're within the organization. And so these are the wonderful things that all the software that works together will do. Um, Now, one thing I warn you though, if you have a small business and professional account, which is a P1 account, you are not able to upgrade to E1, E2, E3, or E4. You have to think about how big will your company be. If you are a small company and you have less than 25 people and you start with a P1 account, if you just so happen to grow and all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to open up another office, or I need like 10 more people and now I got 27 people, you're not going to be able to upgrade very seamlessly. What you have to do is manually transfer your information from a P1 account to an E1 or E2 or E3. So you may want to think about that. P1 is a little bit cheaper, but you want to look at the enterprise package, which is mid-sized business and enterprise package, and think about, okay, I got 15 people now. In the next year or so, I'm going to have 30 people. I may want to think about starting off with the E package. Keep in mind that with the enterprise package, you can have one user. There is not a minimum. You can start with just one and pay for one. Like for instance, I am me by myself working on my company. I can start off with just one person. Eventually, I may want to bring someone else to work with me because I have too much workload. And so I may need to add an additional person. And so you set up a second user. But if I'm on an E plan and all of a sudden within 2 years I have 50 people, I don't have to worry about it because I'm already on a plan that works for my company. And so this is one thing that you want to think about when you start setting up your Office 365 package. Another thing that I recommend is that you start looking into 2D barcodes. Whether you decide to go with QR code or Microsoft Tag, now I'm a very big fan of Microsoft Tag. I believe that it is one of the I believe it's one of the better barcodes out there. It is true you do need to be online. You know, your phone has to have a data plan, has to be connected to a data plan at the time when you scan a barcode, because the Microsoft Tag barcode is just a bunch of numbers that are sent to a server, and then the server returns the information that it needs to get the web URL, or if it's a V card, or if it's just a text, and or a dialing of a phone number. That's something that you want to think about. Whereas QR code, you can actually embed an actual URL or business card or any other type of information like that straight onto your onto the code itself. So that's the only difference. Is QR code is somewhat offline. If you go to a URL and you can't get on the internet, what most QR code readers do is it says, do you want to look at this later? And you can save it to a bookmark, and then when you do have a data connection, you can view it later. Microsoft Tag does not. I hmm, I'm not going to say for sure, but at the time I was looking for that feature, it didn't have it. But there has been 2 upgrades since then, so I'm not going to say for sure if it doesn't have it or not. But I believe that Microsoft Tag Reader doesn't have that feature where it says, "Hey, I got these numbers. I'm going to store it for you somewhere, and then when you do have a data plan, we can then retrieve that information for you. Would you like to do that?" Yes. That'd be a nice feature. Um, so there are a lot of good things that Microsoft does that I really am supporting all the way with Microsoft Office 365, the Microsoft Office 2010 suite, whether you have the home and business or try to get Outlook. I think it's one of the best email programs out there, um, and especially if you're working in a professional environment or enterprise environment. Um, and then SkyDrive, I think is really good. There are other systems out there that does the same thing. The only thing is Microsoft does it all under one user login. So you have to think about that too. Is do I have to get with this service and then this service for something else and that service for something else? No, with Microsoft, you have one username for all your emails, collaboration, storage of files, calendars, instant messaging, video sharing, and it's just one username and password. And you don't have to worry about having so many different, like WebEx username and passwords, live meeting username and passwords. It's just one username and password. And so that's something that you definitely want to think about. Windows Phone 7 is the best phone to work with any type of Exchange and SharePoint environment. Okay. And Microsoft Link is going to be one of the available free downloads that you can download for your phone. And then you sign in with your username and password and the domain if you have to, in order to log into Link and have access to all your clients and contacts right there on your phone, and even start up an audio video presentation and watch other people's presentation right on your phone, which is going to be a great thing. So you're not missing a meeting even while you're on the road or on an airplane with a Wi-Fi connection. So Windows Phone 7, especially 7.5, the Mango update, is going to be the phone to have that will work with Office 365 because it already works with Exchange and SharePoint if you have an on-premise or if you have a BPOS account, which eventually you're going to get migrated over to Office 365 anyway. So I don't suggest that any organization should issue out phones other than Windows Phone 7.5 when it comes out in the next month or two. That is going to be the best phone that's going to work for your business, in my opinion. Now, for personal phones, hey, if you want the iPhone, Android, that can be your personal phone, but then your work phone is the thing that you want to use and keep, because that phone will work with your business. And I guarantee you, you're probably going to use your work phone a lot more so than your personal phone. So people who have transitioned over to Windows Phone 7, they are not moving back over. There are very few people, I mean, and it's very few, that have people who switched over to Windows Phone 7, but they're not even thinking about switching back. They're not even thinking about it. Switching back to an iPhone or a BlackBerry or any other type of system like that. They are happy with the Windows Phone, and it does everything that they want it to do. Even the Windows Phone 7 before the Mango update